Welcome, everybody, to episode 26 of Scenes from the Spectrum. You know what day it is. It's Gordon Hayward's favorite national holiday. Sixers? Sixers.
Here's Ilyasova. Here's McConnell. Can he get it off? Yeah! And the Sixers win it! 7 seconds to play. Iverson against Gill. The crowd on its feet. Allen for the win! Yes!
All right. It is January 6th. I told you, like we said a couple days ago, we are back on schedule just a few days later, and we're here to talk about more Sixers.
Sixers!
Sixers.
Shout out Tony.
Shout
Pressing the
out
buttons.
Tony for pressing the buttons and getting everything together. He's very special. Say hi, Tony. Say hi to everybody.
Hello, everybody.
There you go.
there
Look at
he
him.
is.
Sounds so energized and ready to go about his
The
day.
majestic,
Graham, how we
majestic
doing
voice.
today?
I'm great. I'm glad that we heard Tony's voice and Mark Zumov's, and I hope they got a collaboration later on today. I
Ooh.
heard that
You know what?
the Zumov producer Tony collab's coming soon.
You know what I think we should do for a special edition of this podcast? We get a Mark Zumoff cameo. Have him do our intro. Wouldn't that be cool?
Like we just put the instrumental under it, and he just goes and reenacts all of his calls.
We could think of something.
Yeah, we need some. Just say
Bulls
Spectrum. Talking about Gordon Hayward.
Sixers tonight. Oh.
The Zumov Hayward collab we're all looking for.
Bulls Sixers tonight. No Joel Embiid. I don't know who's injured on the Bulls, but it's gonna look like a very special matchup as we went 4-0 against the Bulls last season. This is the first time I believe we will be playing them this season, hoping to get another sweep because
I don't know, Justin. You tell us you watch every game.
I do. So hopefully we can get another sweep this year. What do you think?
Look, sweeps are always good. There's nothing that's bad. Nothing is ever bad that has come out of a sweep. So yeah, the city of Chicago. We're gonna talk about that a little bit later. But the city of Chicago, in all seriousness, is owned by one man. And it's not Lori Lightfoot. So it is the man, the myth, the legend, Joel Embiid. And we gotta say, Embiid, who is just the absolute utter GOAT of all time. We don't want to, ignore the fact of what he does. So I just want to put that out there because there's some things that are going on and they're in our headlines. So I'm going to just go ahead and just get it right here. Things are going on right here. Some great intro music, first of all. Jason Tatum, for some reason, is getting respect that he doesn't deserve. NBA.com came out with the MVP ladder. We're going to talk about that. You mentioned it, Sixers and Bulls play today in just a couple hours. The Sixers had a win over the Indiana Pacers in one of the weirdest games of the season. We want to say shout out James Harden for absolutely making me furious and then making me happy again about 5 seconds later. But anyways, shout out Baby Keem too. But yeah, those are our headlines. I want to start off before we get into much like the Sixers game talk. I just want to know your reaction to the NBA.com MVP ladder. Just first of all, like initial thing, when you saw it, and what was the first thing you were thinking?
So while we were waiting to start recording, Tony actually, the producer, brought it up and brought it to my attention that Joel Embiid is sixth in the MVP rankings on NBA.com. And who is number 2? Jason Tatum. And I don't understand. I truly don't, because Jason Tatum is nowhere near the player that Joel Embiid is. And he doesn't have the same kind of impact. And when you're talking about most valuable player, who is the most valuable for their team? And I don't think Jason Tatum is in that top 3, top 4. Sure, he's the best player on one of the best teams in the league, but does he bring that that most valuable characteristic to the team. I mean, listen, he just lost by 40 to the Oklahoma City Thunder. All right, we blew them out on New Year's Eve. Joel Embiid is 6th behind Giannis. Luka, which is fine. Luka, I understand he's behind Luka, but Luka's in 4th for no reason. Luka should be number 1 or 2. Then we got Kevin Durant at 3, which I don't really mind. You can have him 3 or 4. Tatum at 2, and then I'm gonna throw up. I'm actually gonna throw up at number 1, Nikola Jokic, because he had 3 points at halftime. Yes, they were blowing the Clippers out last night, but that had nothing, absolutely nothing to do with Jokic. 3 points. All right. He ended, I think, with 12 something. I don't know if he played much the fourth quarter. He played some the third, but he was trying to stat pad against the Clippers reserves and did nothing.
When is he not stat padding?
Oh, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. The stat padding he does against the bench players. It makes me throw up. But the MVP rankings make no sense. I wish maybe there is an explanation for this on NBA.com, but
there is. I'm just not going to read it.
Okay. Yeah, I just don't get it. I don't get how Giannis is above Embiid after Embiid has shown countless times that he's been playing way better and been way more valuable to his team this year. Luka, that's whatever, but it makes no sense. It's frustrating. Very frustrating that he doesn't get the respect that he deserves.
I'm going to say this, and we're just going to go through 1 through 10 of what they have. Jokic a 1, Tatum 2, 3 is KD, 4 Luka, 5 Giannis, 6 is Joel Embiid, 7th place is a tie between Ja and Donovan Mitchell, 9 is Jaylen Brown, and 10 is Zion, which is funny. But I will say there is nothing that Tatum is really better than Embiid. Like, there's really like not one extreme thing that you can say and just be like, oh my gosh, Tatum is just so much better when Embiid has more points, rebounds, assists, better shooting than Tatum. It's quite obvious that who the better player is when you look at the game and when you look at the stats. I think the eye test and the stats tell you that you're going to have an Embiid top 3 at least, and we're looking at 1 or 2 really, but top 3 at least in the MVP. And to me, it's really like 2 tiers to this, where it's Embiid, Luka, Jokic in tier 1. Then in tier 2, you have like a Giannis, KD, and then you have your Tatums in there. And then it gets to the Morants, Mitchells, Zions. I'm not even going to mention Jaylen Brown. So I think that when you get into that realm of things where you tier it, it makes a lot more sense. But to have Embiid not even in the top 5 is absolutely insane.
It's almost laughable at this point, because obviously the league has disrespected him in times past, and they continue to do it by putting him 6th. I mean, I guess really, like you said, Embiid pretty much does everything better than him. I guess the only kind of thing that Tatum has over Embiid is team record, which does that really deserve 4 spots over him? Like,
and it hasn't mattered the last 2 years.
It hasn't.
I'm not sure why it matters.
Like I said last episode, it changes every year, the criteria for MVP. And last year, or the past 2 years, it was who puts up the craziest stats. This year, it's who's the best player on the best team, which it's very annoying. The MVP award is kind of taking a turn into what kind of agenda the media can push, and it's worked. It's worked the past few years, and it's kind of made me take the MVP award a lot less serious than years prior.
Yeah, and this is a thing about the MVP award is when Giannis had won 2 straight, and we had heard like, you can't win a third. Like he wasn't even in conversation to win a third in a row, even though he possibly had one of his best seasons of all time. But it was all like voter fatigue this, voter fatigue that. It can't be Giannis again, right? But we don't hear anything of that nature at all with Jokic, especially from the media who's driving these narratives, the same media that drove the narratives about Giannis after he had already won his MVPs. So that's something that I think is just absolutely outrageous. And you're right. I mean, the goalposts shift year to year, and it never once has it favored Joel Embiid. So it is what it is. At one point, I don't think Embiid's caring too much about the MVP. He used to, but everything that we've heard from him is that he really doesn't. He doesn't really care about that. I think that if Embiid wants to win an award, he should go for the Defensive Player of the Year. But even then, it's going to be tough for Joel. I would like to get Tony's thoughts since he really is the one that brought this to our attention of Embiid being 6 in the NBA.com ladder before we move on to some of these games that have happened or haven't happened yet. Tony, NBA.com, they frauds?
They're frauds, man. 6 is ridiculous. If you watch the games, he's definitely not 6. He's top 3 for sure, in my opinion, and I know in the opinion of many others. I'm just gonna keep it at that. I just thought it was funny. That's why I brought it up to Justin. And I've seen outrage all over from Sixers Twitter about it. So, and just rightly so, of course.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, we get that some of the members of the media aren't the smartest, and they have votes. Like Kendrick Perkins has a vote, but he obviously pushes the
I mean
Embiid agenda.
He's a good one.
Listen, it's kind of it's different. Like the actual MVP, two different things. Pushing the actual MVP and pushing your own agenda. We would understand if the actual deserving MVP was number 1 on this list right now, but he's not. People just want to push their agenda. I mean, we'd understand if Tatum was having or Jokic was having the craziest year ever, and they both deserved it. But I don't see in any way how they deserve it at all.
Yeah, Jokic really hasn't overwhelmed me like he had the last couple of years with his play. I mean, he's gonna get the stats, but his play really hasn't overwhelmed this season.
He's been the same player for the past 3 years.
Yeah, and Embiid is Embiid just has crazy jaw-dropping performances where if he doesn't get like 35 plus, then it's a bad game, right? So those are the type of things where you look at to compare the two. It's just the expectation of what Embiid has compared to Jokic, because as long as Jokic gets a handful amount of rebounds, a handful amount of assists, he can have 12 points and people think it's the greatest thing ever. So that's, to me, it's funny. And how that happens.
And we're not sitting here saying that Jokic and Tatum aren't good players. Obviously, they're some of the best in the league, but they are not deserving of a top 3 or top 2 MVP spot on the ladder.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And I think we're overlooking KD a lot. I really like what KD has brought to the table this year for the Nets.
Huge winning streak.
Yeah, now that they're winning games again. So, and you gotta mention in the fact that he's valuable to his team because he plays with Ben Simmons. So you got to give him some more.
That's a tough one. That's a tough
the MVP.
one.
That's why I respect him more doing what he does with Benny on his team. So, I really like KD in that fact, and he's amazing to watch on a nightly basis. Can't say the same about Jason Tatum. He has his nights where he's insane, and you're like, wow, Tatum is extremely good.
He also has nights where he's just flat out bad,
and he'll shoot 23% the next night, right? So it's tough for me to pick Tatum ahead of Embiid just from watching basketball. And when you look at stats wise, it's not even remotely close, really, in my eyes, of what Embiid does when you look at the numbers and the play.
Yeah. So I think that's pretty much all we have about the MVP rankings. Speaking of, keeping on the same note of the Brooklyn Nets and kind of Ben Simmons, it's crazy how people can go from so loud to so silent about Ben Simmons. I've heard absolutely 0 things about him since the first 2 weeks of the season. He's putting up a triple single for his stats this year, and he has shown that he's just flat out just not as good as we thought.
I don't think he made a free throw in like a month.
Oh, I know it's pretty rough. Tony, do you want to look up his I know, sorry, it's your favorite player, but can you look up his
I want to know
his throw percentage this year?
Like his game. I want to know his game log because I knew like last week it was like a month the last time he made a free throw, which was hilarious.
Really?
Yeah, it was up there for sure. But yeah, that's why I think so highly of KD. But I also saw a couple of tweets from Nets fans, and they're in the stage of Ben Simmons doesn't need to be aggressive because we're winning. They're in the Ben Simmons doesn't need to be aggressive because we're winning stage,
Oof.
which is
I remember.
it's a very dangerous, slippery slope. It is.
I remember they've literally, the Nets fans have gone through every single stage that we've gone through. Stage 1, oh my God, Ben Simmons is going to be amazing.
Yep.
Stage 2, all right, he's playing all right. He's playing. Hey, we're winning. We're winning. Stage 3, he's not really doing anything, but hey, we're winning.
Yeah.
And then stage 4 and 5 to come soon. Oh my God, this guy sucks. And then obviously stage 5 is get him off our team.
So he was 1 of 4 from the free throw line on Wednesday night. So before the last free throw that he had made prior to that was when he made 4 on November 25th. So he made 1 free throw he didn't make any free throws in the month of December. If you believe that.
He didn't make any free throws in the month of December?
No, he did not. In December, he was 0 of 1, 0 of 2, 0 of 2, 0 of 0, 0 of 2, none again, 0 of 2, and none. Then he didn't play on the 10th, and he didn't shoot any on the 9th, did not play on the 7th, 4th, or the 2nd of December. So no free throws made by Ben Simmons in the month of December.
That's actually that's really hard. That's just really hard. I mean, you're like 6'10". You were gifted, absolutely gifted physically.
Yeah, he was 0 of 10 in December.
And you're not going to put the work in to become a great player. Tony, I'm sorry.
Bro, 0 of 10 in December is absolutely
But Ben Simmons doesn't deserve anything more than a vet minimum. Tony, any thoughts? Any thoughts?
Your favorite player?
You guys are. Oh my God.
Tony.
This is nasty.
Your favorite player, though.
Look, he.
Don't say he's not your favorite player.
He is not.
We have footage.
we have footage of me calling him underrated, which at the time was
a bad take.
It was an ambitious take.
No,
it was a risk that I took.
No, he's becoming underrated, is what he said.
Oh, he's becoming.
Yeah,
he was.
Did you say criminally underrated?
Let's continue.
The Sixers play today, if you believe it or not. They play the Bulls. You talked about it earlier. 4-0 last year against Chicago. Embiid absolutely owns them. I don't know if he'll play tonight.
He's already out tonight.
So let's expect him not to play, as that's going to be the case. I really still have tons of faith in a win. 11 straight at Wells Fargo. Bulls, they beat the Celtics a couple nights ago, but they really haven't had the best of seasons.
No, they haven't, and they kind of did exactly what I thought they were going to do this year, which is around the 8, 9, 10th seed. And I think they're in the 10th seed right now currently. But no, Bulls really aren't. They're a mediocre team at best. Nothing really too flashy and cool about them. I mean, we just got to take care of business tonight. James Harden has to lead the team. Hoping to see Maxey kind of get back into, mid-season form. Needs to get that shot back. He's kind of struggled for 3. He's shown time and time again that he can finish around the rim. No question about it. But just getting that 3-point shot back, that corner 3-point shot, just needs to get it back. And hopefully tonight, we'll see a good sign. And Tobias Harris, there's one thing I ask of him tonight. Just let that thing fly.
Yeah.
You catch it and you catch it on the 3-point line. You got a little bit of room. Let that thing fly. I don't care if you take 10 3-pointers tonight.
I do care if he takes 10 3-pointers. I would,
as long as he makes like 4.
Well, okay, that would be a totally different story. If he's 2 of 10, I'd be pretty pissed off.
Yeah, 3 of 10.
It's still pretty bad. Like if we lose and he's 3 of 10, you're like, dude, you missed 7 threes.
Guess. Let's see if you could take a guess at James Harden's stat line tonight.
All right, so I'm gonna go off rip 26 points. I
Mhm.
think that's good. If we win, he has double-digit assists. If we lose, he has like 7.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna say with the win, I'm gonna say about 26, 11, and 7.
26, 11, and 7.
Yeah, I'm gonna write that down actually.
Give me 33 points. I'm
Whoa,
expecting
30 at 3 points. All right.
33 points,
Okay.
7 assists, and 6 rebounds.
And a win.
And of course, every scenario here is a win. Yeah, I want to just be aggressive and shoot a lot. I don't know. I feel like that's very fun to watch.
Tone, you have any
Uh,
Harden predictions for the stats?
27, 11, and 8. 11 assists, obviously,
Yeah.
and
So
obviously a win.
oh yeah, and a win. All right, perfect. So I'm 26, 11, and 7. You're 27, 11, and 8. Wow.
I'm 33, 7, and 6.
You are 33, 7, and 6. So hammer that Harden points, rebounds, and assists tonight. That is our advice to you. Hammer it.
This isn't gambling advice, but we
It
advise
is.
you to
We advise you to
hammer it.
hammer the points, rebounds, and assists. Hammer that, John. I like Maxey because he is going to make the corner threes tonight that he's been missing.
You think so? You
I
think this is the game where he gets back at it?
I don't know if he gets back to his prior self, but I think this is a game where he makes the corner threes.
How long do you think until he gets back to his prior self?
I think it's going to be a little bit longer than we think. Probably 2 weeks. I mean, it's tough to get back to where Maxey was. He was playing like his best, like his absolute best before the injury happened. Is where he finally got his groove. And we saw in the preseason exactly how good he can be, and he's absolutely insane. So he's going to be able to get to like Tyrese Maxey or on a day-to-day basis, Tyrese Maxey, but I don't know how long it's going to take until we have the explosion of Maxey that we're used to seeing.
All right, hoping for a win tonight. Graham, anything else you want to talk about until we get to our special?
Yeah, I want to mention how Harden, in the span of like 6 seconds, made me the most furious human on earth to the happiest.
Oh,
Now,
we gotta talk about the Pacers game a little bit.
yeah, there's a
Sixers won in overtime. Blew a lead in the fourth quarter. Then the Pacers blew like a 4-point lead with like 30 seconds left to go. Maxey with a steal, and then a dunk, and then a Tobias Harris putback layup to go into overtime. And then we just took care of business in overtime. But in no way should that game have gone to overtime. You should have absolutely taken care of business in the fourth quarter. You cannot be taking the foot off of the pedal like you do. Like,
I think we had
70% of the time.
What was our lead heading into the fourth? Like after the third quarter, I think it was a 4-point lead, and then after that, we kind of felt like it was ours. Like the game was over, and then it was
had like a 15-point lead at some point in the game.
Yeah, like it was
something around there.
It definitely wasn't our best showing.
No, it's not. And I mean, obviously, you're gonna have some of those. It happens in the NBA, but not as frequent as it happens to us. Just gotta take care of business.
I want to say what won us the game, and we had a conversation about this. I want to say Montrezl Harrell, the drawn charge on Benedict Mathurin in overtime. That's why I trust Montrezl Harrell to play. Paul Reed is not making that play, Justin. As much as you want to say, Paul Reed's not making that.
I think Montrezl Harrell's game was very overhyped by Sixers fans. Yes, he did a fantastic job on the offensive end, but rebounding and defense, except for that charge, he was pretty bad. He struggled to get rebounds. He let up offensive rebounds. Wasn't getting the rebounds that he should. Stuff like I believe Paul Reed would get. Defensively, I believe Paul Reed would have had a much better game.
I don't think Paul Reed helps us win that game as much as Montrezl Harrell did.
No, not offensively, but I think defensively, definitely a big shift because I really thought that Montrezl Harrell's defense and rebounding was pretty bad. But somebody's defense that was fantastic, someone that you don't look at as kind of being very good on defense is James Harden. He locked Tyrese Halliburton down, especially in the fourth quarter and overtime. Tyrese Halliburton only had, I would say, about four points in the fourth and overtime combined. Didn't shoot that well, and Harden with the game-winning block.
Yeah,
On was that on Tyrese Halliburton, or
it doesn't matter who was on.
it doesn't matter, but
It matters that the block happened.
one of his best defensive games as a Sixer may be his best. But that's really good to see that he's locked in and really wants to win because he was a big reason why we won that game.
Personally, I think he's played quite well on defense all season long.
Mhm.
So I think that was just kind of the iceberg of him saying, all right, well, he's here defensively, and that's what he's going to bring to the team all season long, and I'm here for it. So I think that's a great added bonus to the Sixers team, because if you're in a playoff series and you need to lock up Jaylen Brown, you have a guy. If you need to lock up a Tyler Hero if he gets hot, you have a guy. You know what I mean? So it's those type of things. Of like if Drew Holiday gets hot, you have a guy. So I like that factor of James Harden being able just to lock up and play solid defense for the Sixers. I want to mention that DeAnthony Melton again having just a fantastic game. Pretty sure he knocked down 5 threes. And we talked about this in the last episode, is that you start DeAnthony until you give him a reason to, or he gives Doc a reason to play him less minutes. Like until he has a stretch of bad games, I think you just gotta go with DeAnthony Melton, because every sign is pointing towards him keeping up his pace of play. Because we thought, it might just be a hot stretch, but it's kind of turned into more of the new normal of Melton.
And there's one guy I want to talk about who I rarely ever give some love to. And I gotta give credit where it's due. Matisse Thybulle has been playing like good all year. He's been taking care of business in the minutes that he's getting. Although he's not getting many minutes, he has one of the, if not best, plus minuses on the team, the best defensive rating. He has really shown that he has improved on the offensive end. He hits a three here and there. He's shown that he is a very good cutter. James Harden has found him many times cutting, but shout out to Matisse Thybulle because he is having himself a year.
Yeah, and it's the threes that he's been able to make. It doesn't really matter if he's cutting or not. If he can't make threes, he's never going to be able to cut to the basket.
He has been doing it.
Yeah,
he has been doing it.
And he's been, just as reluctant of a shooter he's been. He has actually not been bad from the perimeter, which is all you can ask for. He's playable. He's playable. That's all you ask.
Made fun of me in the beginning of the year because I said, "Oh, Matisse Thybulle is going to be able to shoot this year." You remember?
Yeah, but he's still not a great shooter. He's just shooting it less and making it less.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. But, I still would cook you for that if you posted it today.
But a big shout out to Matisse. I think that's everything we got for the Pacers game and the Bulls game. Is it time for our special end of podcast fun?
I want to put Tony on the screen here so he can explain what's going to happen.
Tony, explain what we're doing here.
So essentially, I'll be playing 1-second clips of highlights from like 2017, like Sixers highlights from 2017 and on. And just like the trivia, they're going to say biscuits. Whoever guesses it first. Yep. Whoever guesses it first gets the point. Got 3 clips. I mean, if you don't understand, you'll pretty clearly understand after the first one.
Yeah.
Folks ready?
I'm ready for the first. I'm excited for this.
Okay. Yeah, so am I.
Right. Here is the 1-second clip.
Harris against.
Oh my God! I said it first. Tobias is going to go up, shoot a mid-range jumper from about the left elbow, and it's going to end up being the game-winning shot against the Lakers after Anthony Davis completely misses a half-court shot.
I forgot the word.
It's biscuits, man.
It's
It is
bi-
biscuits.
I said it was biscuits. Yeah.
It's biscuits. It's not
That-
biscuits. It's just biscuits.
That is.
Can we play the full clip, please?
Do you have the,
Yes,
do you have the full
that
clip?
is correct. I will play the full clip.
Look at Tony coming.
Shot clock is off. Down to 8 seconds. Now Harris. Harris against Caruso. On the drive. Pull-up jumper. It's good. Tobias Harris.
Good.
There it
It's
is.
good.
There it is.
I definitely remember that game.
I remember.
I have a
game.
Snapchat memory of me just going absolutely nuts.
I think
at
I
the
also
TV.
have one very
Yeah.
similarly, Tobias Harris.
All
yeah.
right. All right.
Justin, you
was-
gonna get on the board here?
I'm an all-star. It's 1-0 me.
I mean,
If I knew the word, I would have had it.
of course. All right.
I think we need to put up that it's 1-0 me. So
All right, we get it. We get it.
I think that it just needs to be said
It's
that it is 1-0
That's-
to Graham.
All right, we get it. 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 All right, let's roll the next clip.
all right. Clip 2.
Can he win it here?
Biscuits.
2019 Jimmy Butler, kind of a sidestep 3 for the win.
Did you say biscuits?
Yeah.
Did you hear him say biscuits?
I heard a biscuits.
We can
I
go
think
we can
you
go
didn't-
back into the hey
you didn't
we
say
can go
anything.
back into
Graham
the
didn't say
replay-
anything,
we can
so I
go
thought
back
it
into
was
the
Justin.
replay segment.
Nah.
I 100% said it. I know I did for a fact.
Okay, I think you said it, and your mic was still muted from the video.
No. It might have, but that was
Does it count? Does it count? All right, well, I'll let you out. I'll let you out.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, it was a sidestep 3 for the win, and
That's an easy
Kemba
one.
dropped what 50, 60 that game.
Yeah, he dropped 60.
That was one of his first games as a Sixer. It was
You
one
are
of his first 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to show the whole clip?
Absolutely.
Dwayne Bacon on him. Jimmy Butler. Can he win it here? It is Butler for the win. Yes!
Jimmy Butler, you are
A 76.
76er. 1-1.
All right.
Is this a tiebreaker of all
This
tiebreakers?
is
All
the
right.
tiebreaker.
All right.
All right.
Biscuits.
Oh, I know it. I know it now.
Biscuits.
Oh.
I was actually at this game. It was last year
Oh,
when Joel
my.
Embiid had a poster over Jared Allen against the Cavs.
That is
We
correct.
did end up winning that game.
Yep.
Pretty sure.
Yep.
But
All right,
yeah.
Here it is.
How unique he and his game are.
Niang, the offensive rebound.
Come on. You see that? Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Look at the bottom left there, Graham. You see that?
Yeah, I see it.
2-1. 2-1. I told you I watch every
Unbelievable.
game. I watch every game.
I
You
knew-
were at
I
a
knew all of
disadvantage. He
them.
watches every game.
Yeah, I was at a disadvantage. I knew all of them. I thought that I had the
Oh, that was
biscuit.
those were very famous plays. Very
Yeah.
famous plays.
We'll get into a part 2 later on.
We'll do that. We'll do that again. Maybe next episode. But
Maybe we should do like 1/10 of a second.
1/10. Just show like a little screenshot.
Yeah, and
I think a
only,
screenshot would probably be better.
Mm-hmm.
but it can only be on the screen for and that's the only chance we get to look at it.
That's fair.
Like half a second.
I think that's all that we have for today. Tony, Graham, you guys got anything for everybody? You got anything to
Nope.
say?
Go Sixers.
Go Birds.
Go Birds. Go Sixers. Thank you everybody for tuning in to special edition.
I love Clemson basketball.
Gordon Hayward's favorite national holiday. Episode 26, Scenes from the Spectrum. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to follow our socials down there. In the
Are they this way? Is that am I
yeah,
pointing in the
that
right
way.
direction?
Down
am I
there.
pointing? Am
Yes,
I pointing?
yes.
All right.
Yep.
Great.
down there in the bottom left at SFTS Podcast. And make sure to follow us on TikTok. We are posting a lot of clips on TikTok. Have a good day, everybody.
Yep.
Sixers.
Thank you for watching MLB Walk-Offs.